Well, tomorrow is the day they've got scheduled for all the No Kings protests across the country, and a lot of people in the gun community are wondering, how should we respond to this? Hey everybody, Yankee here. You know, a lot of people in the gun community have been talking over the last week or so about how we should respond to all of these No King protests going on, or these anti-ICE protests for that matter. What should we do? Should we schedule counter protests? Should we show up there and meet them? Should we form a convoy of conservatives across the country to go to these places from other states? How should we respond? Well, I'm here to ask you, as a personal favor to me, if for no other reason, well, I shouldn't say that because then you'll do it just to spite me. But I think we should just stay home. Ignore it. You're not going to make it better showing up. And there's a lot of reasons why I'm saying that. Just let them tire themselves out like a bunch of toddlers. Because one, if you do show up, especially if you come in a convoy across the states to confront your fellow American, that's not a good look. No matter whether you're right or you're wrong. Also, when you show up there, if there's a big counter protest and a big protest, well, it really becomes kind of muddied which people are there for what, and it just looks like a bigger protest. It makes it look like they were more successful than they actually were. Plus, it gives the media a chance to exploit everybody's differences and promote those divides and widen those divides, and it really just hurts all of us in the end. But the main reason I'm saying stay home, even as a favor to me or to spite me or whatever. If you're someone who wants to spite me, I say, get out there and stand up. Usually that's what actually happens. I ask people to stand up and do something, and they're like, now the game's on. So let's pretend it's that. Pretend there's a game on. Don't go. And like I said, the main reason I don't want anyone to go is, even though right now I'm very frustrated, I've been very burnt out as far as gun rights are concerned and YouTube is concerned, we've still won a lot of victories lately. We have had a progressive march towards, and I hate to use the word progressive march towards, but a progressive march towards getting a lot more gun rights back that they had been taken from us unjustly. So we're on the verge of some big victories. We've actually had some big victories. We just now have to wait for them to be enforced, and that's getting frustrating waiting for it. But everything is on the ups right now as far as gun rights are concerned. There's some anti-gun bastions, that are holding out and that are doing their death throes and trying to be as controversial as possible. But right now, they're losing. And we're winning. And that's pretty clear. Like I said, it may not be going fast, not nearly as fast as I want it to go. But it's still, we're in the positive right now. What they want is for somebody to show up at one of these protests, one of these No Kings protests, so that they can be provoked into doing something stupid. So someone from the pro-gun side or the conservative side can get angry and either run people over with a car or, better yet, shoot somebody. And then all the politicians have an excuse, even the so-called pro-gun ones, have an excuse to say, oh, well, this thing like the suppressors that are in this bill here, and this whole idea of taking short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns off the NFA. Well, now's not the right time. There's been violence and everybody's angry, and it's just not the right time for that. Even though I support it 100%, it's not the right time, so we're pulling it. That almost seems like that's the goal of these things today. It seems like the protests in LA and everywhere else, they haven't really been about achieving anything or changing anything. They've been about objections to some things. And I agree with their right to protest against people not getting due process. If that's their main goal and that's their protest, more power to them. Because that's one of the main things that makes America America is due process. The First Amendment, your right to protest, and due process. Those are some of the things that make this country great, and the Second Amendment protects those things. So right now, I don't want to see the progress we're making taken away. And if they are protesting things like that, they have every right to, more power to them. They don't have a right to riot, and anyone who riots or damages property should go to jail. But otherwise, I'm okay with your protesting. I support that. Everyone knows I always support protest, even if I don't agree with them. I support the process and the whole notion that it's possible. But as I was saying, whether you agree with them or not, just let them tire themselves out like toddlers, because right now, like I said, gun rights are on the upswing and they want a tragedy. They want a shooting. They want, violence. They want division so that they can say now's not the time. So that there can be a renewed push in the middle for gun control. Because, right now the 10% on one side are fully against it and the 10% on the other side are fully for gun control. And then there's 80% in the middle that, I don't know which way to go. And we've been doing a real good job as a gun community of alienating more and more of that middle. So we definitely don't need to go out and have one of our crazies in our group, because let's not pretend like we don't have crazies, because we do. And do something, have them go out and do something stupid and take away all the progress we've made. Because really, there's no reason to go out there and stand up against these protests. No kings. If that's their point, well, I support that point. I don't know why they got to go out and do a big protest about it. I don't support it any more than I support a big military parade when we're scraping for pennies these days. But like I said, they have a right to protest. And what they want right now, the people in power, the people on the far left, the anti-gunners, the Bloombergs, they want to provoke you into presenting a bad face. Even if no one gets hurt, they want to be able to have everybody in the middle, that 80%, look and go, why are those gun people out there protesting due process? People are opposing due process or opposing the idea that no one should be a king. We don't need that optic, but most of all, we don't need one of the weaker among us being provoked into violence and that being used to stall or reverse the progress we're making. We need to work more on including more people in the tent of the pro-gun community, and this isn't doing that. This will alienate even more people. And like I said, give people in power a reason to backtrack on progress we've already made. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.
Spectamus fructus dies et non